Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is related to Retrieval Augmented Generation within Power Automate. And if you are following my other series on Gen AI, in last video I explained about how we can create the RAG system or the RAG app from scratch with a code first approach. We wrote a program into Python using LangChain framework where we created all the components of Retrieval Augmented Generation. And I explained that each and every aspect of RAG in detail, like how the pure LLMs get the contextual information using RAG implemented solution. And if you wish to understand each and every aspect of RAG, then you can watch this previous video where I explained what are the components of RAG. So starting from preparation of the information and then retrieval of the information. So in the preparation, we have this raw documents, chunked documents, and then stored into vector store. And then we built out one retriever that did the similar contextual search on the stored vector database and then give you the final output. So this makes your LLMs more smart with the contextual information. So same thing we are going to achieve today into Power App using Power Automate. Over here, we are going to take help of AI Builder. We will not write any single line of code. The only thing is we are going to upload the document. Let's say I have this Microsoft annual report and user can start asking the question. If I say, give me overview of this document, let's say. So right now with the AI Builder, we are directly accessing the LLM for replying any question, but we are providing the contextual information related to this document also. And when we do say ask, then we are expecting that the information would be fetched from this annual report, and with a blend of LLM, the answer would be presented to us. So the same system we are going to build today. So we got the answer that document is the Microsoft 2025 annual report, and everything in detail is being provided with their estimation, their achieved record, performance, and all that stuff. So this system we are going to build with simple 4-5 steps without writing any single line of code, but using the AI Builder as a tool for us. So we'll start creating an app and we'll just choose start with page design. We'll just pick blank canvas. And first of all, we'll just have one attachment control where we will upload our contextual files. So here, to have the attachment control in place, we are going to use the hack of having the attachment control. So till now, we don't directly have any attachment control other than this image control. So we are not going to use that. We are going to actually add one data source. That's a dummy data source, I would say, SharePoint. And I will choose that SharePoint from one of the existing site, and I will just use that as a dummy data source. So this has nothing to do with our demo, but just to have the attachment control in place, we are using it so that I can add one edit form, and then we'll just pick the attachment control from that edit form. So right now I'll just connect that data source to this access matrix, and I will just quickly use the attachment control from the fields. I'm clicking on field, just add that attachment field also, so that we can just copy, and then we will remove the entire edit form as we are just bothered about this attachment control. So I'll just copy this attachment control, copy, and I will just paste that directly into screen, and I will delete this form which we did as a dummy form. So right now I have this attachment control in place. I will just remove all this parent.default so that we can stop getting this error, removing all the formulas which are dependent on parent. So now we have this attachment control without any error. So what we are going to do now, I'll just drag one button so that we can write one Power Automate to call that on click of this button. I will just drag one text input so that we can pass the user query. I'll just drag that over here, and I will have the text label which can show the response of this entire execution. So now you can just beautify them, align or whatever you wish to do. I will just use this, and I will say remove this one. In the hint, I will just say user input button. You can say that ask, and this one you can provide the border and all that so that it can look like a response. So once we have all the controls in place, now the next step is just to start writing one Power Automate so that we can actually call our AI Builder to build out or to work with this custom attachments. So I am going to just click on Power Automate, create a new flow, start from blank. And over here, we are going to take two input, one input as the user query, which will be simple text, and the other input would be file, so that we can actually provide the file content from our Power Apps to our Power Automate. So once we have these two input, the next step is we are going to take help of AI Builder So you can just type in AI Builder and go to this AI Builder category. So in this AI Builder category, you have like multiple actions, and what we are bothered about, like we are going to extract the data out of our document. So over here, you can either search or you can just say recognize text. That's an inbuilt AI Builder action in recognize text in image or document. And as part of input, we are going to provide the file content. And in next step, I will just initialize one variable so that we can use the output from our this recognized text into that variable. So that's a string type of variable we are going to use, and I will name that as full text string, type string, and we'll set the default value from the text which we get apart from our this previous action, full text from the document. And in next step, we are going to do this run a prompt. Again, this is an action of our AI Builder only. So run a prompt, AI Builder action, and over here, either you can start building your own prompt. I'll just go to my this prompts and I will search for my this custom prompt which I just built. I click on this one. So over here you can see like I have this text input that is of type document, or we can actually create a new one so that you can see like how the prompt was created. So build your own prompt. Right now, like we have to pass that document text as an input, and again the user query also as an input. So you can use this add content, you can use this image or document. So over here you can directly upload a document here if you have predefined the documents, but right now we are going to read that from the user input, so we are not using this one, we are going to use the different one. So I'll just close this. We are going to use this input of type text, and that text we are going to pass as part of this text input, which is our file actually. So I can bind that to my this text full text string, and the user input is the query. So what our next input would be, so please use text input to answer the user query. And user query, you can again add text, you can actually give it a name, user query, so that it can be read into this prompt. So once you do that, so text input is the entire file text, user query is the user text, like the question user is asking, and you can test as well. And just want to tell you like this new feature which is being just now added is show settings of this prompt. So you can actually define the temperature and these other settings of your this custom prompt. So temperature 0 means, like we already talked about this parameters into my this Gen AI series, where temperature 0 means like a strict answer would be given, and if you increase the temperature, then your LLM would have flexibility to think about more creative options, creative answers. So based on your input, based on your requirement, you can set this temperature. So ideally like it can be set in between, and then you have this number of record, so this will be shown as part of your result. And this also you can include the responses, like it's if it's doing web search or it's doing like external searches, then it can include the links for the response it's generated, and enable the code interpreter. When you enable your prompt would be able to do the complex operation of generating content using code. So you can try these options, and once you enable it and save it, we'll just see like how we are getting the response. So I just saved it, and you can name your this custom prompt. So my custom prompt, I named that as AI answer query, and full text we have already passed. User input I will just pass as user query from our Power Apps input. So the user query is this. Additional context, like if anything additional you want to pass, so you can pass that. So once you have this run a prompt action done, then the final step is to respond in Power App. So you can just click on this Power Apps category, respond to a Power App for flow, and over here the response would be, you can just capture that into, let's say, output variable. So I'll say output, and the value to be responded is from previous run a prompt step. So you can just find that, or it's a text value from a run a prompt step. So we got this answer of this run a prompt into our this output. So basically what we built is like we passed the file content that recognized the text, actually converted the text of this document, and then we are passing that text with along with our user query to a run a prompt of AI Builder, and then we are responding that back into our flow. So I can say like this rag document flow. Once we save it, and we are ready to call our Power Automate on select of this button. So what we are going to do, we are going to just call our Power Automate.run. First input would be text input dot text, the user query, and the second input is file. So we are going to construct the file object, and that is with JSON of our, I'll expand this so that we can see it properly. So file object with JSON, and JSON would have our content bytes, and the content bytes we are reading from our first attachment control. So the attachment control is of data card value 6 attachments dot value. So this will give us a content bytes of our file. And the second attribute, we are going to pass the file name, that is first of our data card dot attachments dot name. So this is how we constructed our object. We'll just close this and close the file object and close the run function. So we were able to run this, and now we will just collect the output into one of the variables. So I'll just say set variable output, and we are going to read that response from our this Power Automate into output variable. So once we do that, we have this everything into output, and now we can bind the text of this our text label to output dot output, which we got response back from our Power Automate. So now we are ready to execute this. So let's save and try to execute. I'll just name that as rag app, and we will try to run it. So now on running, I can attach my file. So I will have this Microsoft annual report, and I will ask question that how much is Microsoft is investing in AI in 2025. So I'll just run this, and we will wait for our Power Automate to trigger, pass the contextual information to AI Builder, and then we are expecting an answer from our Power Automate. So we got this answer, the technology to school, community, and everything. And over here, if I keep on scrolling down, so I have this information which is being extracted from the document. So whatever the information document has, like, it will not hallucinate or try to answer some weird thing. If that content is there in the document, so this is the related to AI content which it find in this document, is try to answer. So maybe like there is no information of investment figures, so that's why it answered like AI innovation is a critical hub of Microsoft. So this is how we built this RAG system using AI Builder with minimal number of steps without writing any single line of code. But if you wish to understand the behind the scenes story of implementation of any RAG, then just go over to this video where I explained each and every part, like how the actual RAG works, how the chunking happens, how the contextual similar search happens in the retrieval phase. So you will understand each and aspect of this RAG based system, how the vector store works, all this that information. So that is it for today's video. If you have any questions, please drop your comments. I'll try to answer. Thank you.